These are Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. They're highly trained and extremely flexible, meaning they can do all kinds of things, from storming beaches and parachuting onto islands to boarding ships for search and seizure operations. Now that the unit has arrived in the Middle East, it's opening up new military options for President Trump. A Marine Expeditionary Unit, or MEU, consists of about 2,200 Marines and sailors that typically operate out of 3 warships. In plain terms, there's a big ship that has a flight deck that can launch and recover different aircraft. Think of it as a mini aircraft carrier. There's a medium-sized ship with a flight deck and a large well deck that can launch watercraft. And there's a smaller ship that transports cargo, crew, and equipment. You can think of those ships as a mobile base that can go anywhere in the world and launch operations quickly without needing to set up some sort of ground base or fly in troops and equipment. The ships themselves are loaded with all kinds of different military hardware to provide a commander with options. There are F-35B fighter jets that can take off from the ship and strike targets. There are armored amphibious combat vehicles that bring Marines from ship to shore, then continue inland for various operations, like seizing and securing buildings. Landing craft air cushions can zip through the water and act as a barge to bring heavy equipment onto land. And tilt-rotor Ospreys and heavy-lift helicopters can be used to transport troops and equipment by air. Plus, the unit also has smaller boats for things like beach raids and smaller aircraft that can enable them to board ships. They also have attack helicopters. Because these units have so many different types of equipment and can perform so many different types of missions, they're often referred to as the military's Swiss Army knife, and they are in high demand around the world. So how could a MEU be used in the war against Iran? There are a bunch of possibilities. For one, the MEU could be used to raid or seize islands that have been militarized by Tehran, like those that sit in the Strait of Hormuz, the vital shipping lane that Iran has essentially shut down. The unit could also be part of an effort to seize Karg Island, which is a launch point for 90% of Iran's oil exports. The US has already bombed military sites on Karg, leading some to speculate that Trump could try to seize it. But military strategists say an attempt to capture Karg would be extremely risky and could also require a lot more troops and equipment. It's also possible the Marines could play a role in a convoy effort to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. They could do that by providing security on ships and also flying aircraft overhead. Alternatively, strategists say Marines could play a role in seizing ships that are carrying Iranian oil. The Marines could also potentially provide security at embassies or launch strikes from their ship. But there's another thing to consider here. The MEU could be used as military deception and basically draw Iran's attention to the Marines while some other operation is launched. The 31st MEU out of Japan is now officially in the Middle East, and the 11th MEU out of California is on its way. Along with them are other troops deploying, like the Army's 82nd Airborne Division, paratroopers that specialize in air assaults. As the war grinds on and the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the Marines are just some of the boots-on-the-ground troops that are being sent to the Middle East.